writing. I was learning how to write. I was learning the craft.
Well, shit, a lot of these stories would make really good, books.
I actually started with poetry as a kid because I like the rhyming stuff. So I used to write poems and stuff as a kid.
Where I cut my teeth and learned a lot was from reading a bunch of the screenwriting books and then writing a bunch of crappy screenplays.
Ever since I can remember writing, I started writing stories.
I think writing becomes like a drug. Like once you start, it's really hard to actually stop yourself.
Instead of going out with your friends, you're inside chasing the dragon of having breakthroughs with stories and characters and finding those perfect lines.
Use the rhythm of the story to, control how the audience sees the story.
And if you just read the words on the page, you're not engaging in it.
You can tell more of a story with a facial expression than you can from a huge word balloon taking up half the panel.
Sometimes as a writer, you wonder what the hell you're doing.
If you ever think that, am I just making it in the Kantian sense? Am I just making this up? Am I really alive? Am I really experiencing? Am I just an illusion?
The problem with fiction is reality.
You do not want your reader to feel let down.
I can do this. I think I can do this, but I want to do this.
Like when you give somebody a piece of poetry, and it can be someone who hates poetry, and then they read it, and you see that light hit, and you go, oh, I did it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Writing Prose. Oh my gosh. So the reason I'm laughing is because I was giving Vaughn shit about how every time I play the intro video, I watch him dance in the little tiny icon that I have. So he just started dancing at the very end, and he froze.
We saw that, Brian.
Busted.
Yeah.
Busted.
Yeah, every time. It's like I need to watch that intro every day to get me pumped to write because it's like the best.
It is bitching.
Thank you. I tried so very hard.
Swimmingly.
Fantastic. You know what? I'm gonna have to do it again. Probably when we hit 20 and do like season 2 of Writing Prose or something, and I'm gonna have to do different quotes.
Okay, everybody, quote it up.
I just like the intro because it gives you a long time to go take a piss.
Yeah, I noticed that you also do that almost every time. Well, the second I play the intro, like I bring up the screen, I play the intro, Will gets out of his chair and like makes a sandwich, vacuums, and
takes a piss. You know,
look at how much of my sandwich actually managed to stuff into my yam during that.
Hey, look, I get it's a long intro, okay?
No, it's cool.
It is long.
It is long.
I can't do it. So shit. Good luck. Good job.
Shae, it's a very good intro. Okay?
Thank you, Brian.
If I had my own show, I'd just be like doing a flip book to the cameras, going, and that's what I've been doing.
It's like drop the cards halfway through and be like, oh, I guess we're done with the intro.
No, I fucked up. Fuck it. You know what the show it is.
It's whatever.
Boom, it's me.
And look, a super sticker. Wow.
Yes, I was just about to bring it up. Thank you, Tatsunami, for the super sticker of a winky smiley. I appreciate you very much. So, for those who didn't know, we got monetized, which is awesome. Super exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So let's go ahead and have everyone kind of introduce themselves, and then we can hop into the world building topic for tonight. So let's start with Grumpy Pants, Keanu Reeves over here.
Oh, you're going my way from change. I thought you were going to go down.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you out of the way.
I was going to call you a motherfucker when you skipped me. I was going to go, motherfucker.
I could sense it, so I just went for it.
Hello, everyone. I'm William, or Will, or Willie, whatever you want to call me. I somewhat co-write Black Flag, and it's in demand on Indiegogo. We're doing well. It's looking pretty good. I think you guys might like it. It might not be all terrible. So.
At least the art will be good, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, the art's gonna be fucking bitching. The writing,
Yeah, I mean it's that guy. So you never know.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's gonna be amazing. Will's a dumbass that negs himself all the time.
I'm on Writing Prose. I mean, how good of a writer could I be?
Okay, I want all y'all to be offended right now because that literally
Shae.
that was to everybody.
Shae, we need to seriously. We need to snap on ourselves. We need to snap on ourselves so that we don't get arrogant. Because if we get arrogant, we get sloppy about our craft.
Yeah.
That
woman.
Okay, so now on Writing Prose.
Right up to your face and this stupid bitch.
I got that out of the way. I got booted the already.
You noticed that I made sure to bring you back last.
She has the power.
I'm drunk with it. It's fine. It's fine.
Cool. This is an elimination show tonight.
Holy shit, we totally need to do one. I have no idea how it would be fucking amazing. Vaughn, we're talking after this. We're going to eliminate.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it, Rick. That's nice of you.
Hey. There you go. Yes, I agree. I've also backed it twice, so write better.
I think
all
I
right, buddy.
Once.
Buddy, you wanna go ahead and intro yourself so people.
Sure, I am Buddy Lord, the writer in your friendly Asian persuasion for Sins of the Fae. If you like steampunk meets epic urban fantasy and adventure, then I am your man.
You're Asian?
Yeah.
Oh wow, cool.
I mean, I don't know why, but I'm also shocked to hear that. And
I've never seen you, so I'm like, wow.
Because nobody's ever seen your face.
I'm Japanese.
Okay, so I have a totally new image in my head of you now.
Are you in Japan or are you here in the States?
No, I'm in the States.
Oh, okay.
Can you speak Japanese?
I spoke Japanese for 3 years with my grandmother, but that was it. It's been so long now. I barely remember anything.
It'd be really cool if you did.
Do you remember un? You know, like little Japanese kids go un.
I remember it was like ichi ni san yan go roku he hachi. And then my grandmother taught me to like ask for my suitcase.
Damn, I thought you were like doing the intro to an anime.
Okay, no wonder you have such a high IQ. There you go.
Yeah, Vaughn, I'm sorry I stepped on you there.
No, it's all right, man. I was just like, Jesus, man. White people love Japan. I'm sorry. We do. Like, that's just what happened just now.
Great comics, great movies.
Great people.
Great people.
Sunny Chiba. Sushi.
Toshiro Mifune.
Right, okay. Let's try to keep this shit from
Obu Nobunaga.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Be quiet now. Okay.
Osaka Steakhouse.
Hey, Vaughn, you ready to intro yourself? I had to mute people.
I understand how this works. I'm Vaughn, everybody. I make Monster MD. I write for Lady Alchemy. I've been around, man. I got my degree in film at Columbia College Chicago and did not want to go into the film industry because what I saw happening there was evil, for lack of a better word. And I decided to kind of do my own thing and create comics because I've always loved them since I was 8. I've been making them. And so now I help people with story and work on my own. And I don't know. You might have seen some of my stuff also in Graveyard Shift Volume 2 in the supplemental section. So
nice.
We can connect on that one, Vaughn. I saw a lot of disgusting evil myself.
Yes.
So
I don't doubt it.
I've heard the stories and they are tawdry.
Thank you, Gels, for the $2. Where's my drop bear unstitched? Shae is slacking.
Yeah.
That's just a truth fact at that point. I am very much slacking, but I'm working on it as I replied. I swear, I'm working on it.
Are you making a drop bear for somebody?
Drop bear hand turkey.
Oh wow.
Those are the best.
Are you making Black Flag ham turkeys?
I already did. Where have you been? Dan has them.
I don't go on the internet. I only go
on the internet or talk to people.
Right, but you have seen Dan's stream. Dan has pulled them out on stream and said, look at what Shae sent me. And it's fucking geisha and sniper as hand turkeys.
I'm not part of the cool kid club, man.
Oh my god.
I can't get up to the treehouse.
That's right, because I just keep
I just joined the writers group on Twitter. I've been on the show like 3-4 times now, so
I swear you were in it. Just introduce yourself. Just damn it, I quit. Intro yourself, damn it.
I'm a Dighton writer and creator of Unstitched. You can get a bear. It's cool.
It is very cool. There's 4 of them left, and I'm
That's the most
shocked there's still 4.
enthusiastic bear advertisement ever.
Alright, so the bear is dope as fuck. The eyes glow in the dark. It's got little mini dead bears on the back. Look at the unstitching of the dead bears. It's dope as fuck. We got 2 covers. One by the interior artist and one by Jason Brubaker. Buy it. All the art's done. Please, I need monies. We're like 15 days left to get it funded.
And he's not funded yet, which is a crying shame. So please,
That
everybody,
is.
share
That
that
ain't
out
right.
because that's exactly what I said. I was like, I don't know how the
That ain't
fuck
right.
they're not funded yet.
Gotta get you on we gotta get you on Frager's show.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah,
This is a
he's had
gorgeous
surgery
looking
and
book.
stuff. You know, he's been healing up.
Yeah, we're 1,000% like this shit. Luke, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, where's Luke?
In the chat.
Oh,
and
birthday
welcome
blue.
Phil.
Oh, for a second, I thought that was going to be
Welcome,
Luke. I'm kind of disappointed.
I thought it was too, and I thought I was just an asshole
Thanks, bro.
because everyone was talking, so I didn't hear his beep when he came in. So he's just been sitting there.
What up, Phil?
I'm sorry.
Yo,
Phil.
what's up? Contrary to the panel, I hate Japan.
Well, okay, Phil is a Godzilla as human form.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I just
Wow.
want to say I am backer number 81 of Unstitched.
There you go.
Nice.
Yo, brother.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because-
Okay.
I need to get that one.
Hey, Brian.
Looks
You
beautiful.
want to
Yeah.
intro yourself?
Oui, madame. I am Brian Christgau. I am a general weirdo, strange person who has loved comic books and horror movies and all the cool shit since I was a little kid. Now I'm living the dream. I'm actually able to make comic books. And people are actually hiring me now to write comics for them, which is really strange. But right now I'm working on, of course, issue number 8 of Six Gun Gorilla. I'm the Six Gun Gorilla guy. Issue number 8 of that's going to be coming out. We're going to be launching this fall. And I'm also working on Nine Devils with Mr. Preston, exit only, Acevedo. We're going to be having like a little launch party tomorrow just to announce it, just to hype it. You know, a little pre-hype. And I'm also working on the Doc Salem Blood Hunt crossover with Preston and Simon Sim Poitier.
Very, very nice.
Brian, you left out Goth Girls.
That's in the past, man. They have daddy issues.
Okay. All right. We have the birthday boy himself.
Where is
so
he?
we need to be insanely obnoxious as we welcome Death Metal Hero.
Luke!
Welcome!
Happy birthday,
Oh, kind of longer.
What up, y'all? How's it going?
What up, Luke?
Luke, you're so old. You're old.
That's what your hair treat himself to, like, you know,
crust punk.
Some fresh hair dye. I mean,
look at that hawk, everybody. Appreciate that hawk.
Like, he is peacocking with that. Look at that.
Where's Krager?
Right.
Krager should be drawing you.
Peacocking with this thing, man.
Yeah, great.
How do you sleep with that?
Oh, dude, you can't. I mean, you'd have to lay it on your side. Like, I literally have to lean back in my car and tilt my head to the side and drive like this.
He took a picture of him in his car, and he's like, "I'm on my way," and his head's like this, and he's like,
or do like an Ace Ventura. Put your head out the window, like
it's got to be aerodynamic. You know?
I mean, I've got enough hairspray in here. It probably could handle going out the window. I mean, it survived the 2.5 hours I did on Sing Along of Doom just now. So,
hey man,
in a hot garage.
I'm edgy.
Luke, all I'm saying is I come from the old school punk rock scene, early to mid 80s, New York City, CBGB, all that business, and that's a legit hawk.
Yup.
"Oh my goodness,
He's 40.
Happy birthday to Luke."
Seriously,
all right.
brother.
Phil, go ahead and introduce your fine self, please.
Hey, everybody. I'm Phil from Zade Comics. I'm the writer and creator of Magic Cop and The Lost Pages, which is in demand on Indiegogo right now. I've passed by the Columbia College Chicago. I've never been inside. Yeah, you could go get the Lost Pages. I think we're the book with the most CG creators on it. I think we have over 20 creators on that project.
All ringers too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and Simon Bisley cover. So yeah,
And Simon Bisley cover. That's just like the cherry right on top.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that shit. Death Metal Hero recommends. #.
Yes. Thank you for all the support.
As do I.
Same. I mean, Red Valkyrie.
Now, Luke, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Since you're 40, is that a weave or is that your real hair?
Don't be jealous, bitch. This is my real hair. Don't be trying to snatch my weave because it ain't weave.
They didn't put the grid on and like sew it in.
No, it's all me, dude. This is like 5-6 years.
Awesome. You look so cool. You look like you're on your way to fight the Ninja Turtles. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that Rocksteady? It is Rocksteady.
Rocksteady's a human now.
Yeah, like you look like a mutant shark, man. You know, like a street shark. You know?
Yes, Shark Boy.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Go
ninja,
go.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice's Turtles rap. Can't forget that one. That's a classic.
Oh man, yeah, no, I annoyed the hell out of my dad with that. He hated it. The last second of it.
That's a good song to annoy people with.
It's a good song.
You know what's the best song to make people uncomfortable with?
Yeah.
And coincidentally, also the worst song to get stuck in your head while you're out in public. It's Guar's fucking an animal. You're welcome.
Guar. Rest in peace, Dave Brocky.
Yeah, man. He was a dabbler, man. He was a dabbler.
Did you see the look that hit Phil's face when you said that?
Nope.
I don't even know what my look was.
Your look was like, oh. You're like looking off doing something else.
But the worst thing is it's a real catchy song. Like, it's a real catchy song. Like, it's earworm. So it's terrible to have.
There's Krager.
What?
He's going to be drawing you for Hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mohawk.
Krager.
Oh, yeah? Hell yeah!
Look at you.
Mohawk. I want more Mohawks inspired. Hell yeah!
You got to kill him and Hammer somewhere.
Do you use eggs in your hair to make it stick like that?
Nah. I have.
Please tell me it's Aquanet.
I was gonna say
it has to be Aquanet.
That's the punk rock shit right there.
The double semen.
Like, okay, Aquanet is what every dancer who has ever had to keep her hair in place uses, and that shit is like cement. It takes like 3 times shampooing for it to come out.
Right,
and it gets all gummy, like
it's got to be
rubber
glued.
cement.
Freeze spray, man. This seriously, just grab it and.
That should be your Tinder picture right there.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, this stuff. Freeze spray. It's fantastic.
Oh shit! Wow.
This is the first time I put up my hair in a long time. Since Halloween, actually. So,
I wish I still had hair to put up.
Dude, I'll make up for it, man. I'll just I'll do it.
Apparently, your got to be glued is also Krager approved. So there you go.
Nope.
Interesting.
That freeze spray.
Yeah, and Aquanet is great for burning models. I'm gonna hope that you mean like model boats
airplanes
or something, as opposed to
a buddy of mine and I used
what I do.
to melt a Jar Jar Binks action figure once.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
All
poor
right.
guy.
All right, our topic today. Now that we are 20 minutes into this fucking stream, let's go ahead and talk about what the hell we're here for.
Yeah, what are we doing here, anyways?
We're going to talk about dating goth chicks.
Relaxing.
We're here to talk about dating goth chicks. That's
Okay.
Oh, man.
Hey,
Luke,
you know what? That is solid world building right there.
It is.
We had a discussion, Luke, that you would have liked. You missed that one.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
That's what
did
you
a
get
job.
for screaming
I had to go
into a
crash some
microphone.
furniture in my friend's garage. It's they're threatening a hurricane down here, so I had to go take all the stuff on his porch and put it in the garage. That's why I was late.
Oh,
Sorta.
that was nice of you.
Are we actually going to talk about goth chicks?
No,
we already
we
did.
talking
Feels
about
like
Will.
that's like came for. Are we not talking about goth chicks?
Yeah.
If not, I'm out.
Yeah, man. I'm staying for the goth chick talk, but
World
we gotta
building
build
and goth
worlds,
chicks,
man.
you know?
We gotta build worlds tonight.
Luke, I was this close to removing you, and then I went, "It's your birthday. I'm not allowed to."
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's like the first time I've gotten close to being booted.
Wait, so Will can't be removed on his
trigger
birthday?
figure tonight.
No.
I've got to be here for that day.
Oh, so when it's my birthday, I can say whatever I want?
When it's your birthday,
Golden
Red
ticket.
Valkyrie is going to
Yeah.
take a hiatus from streaming.
Oh, that's what a coward.
Vacation day.
Yes, precisely. I am a coward of what is going to come out of your mouth on my brand new monetized
You know what,
channel.
Shae? You're such a girl.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
I appreciate that.
Be so harsh, Will.
Look, after years and years of being called a dude because people, I've wore a dress with a low cut top and a push up bra, and I had somebody say, "Have a good day, sir," and I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And they looked and they went, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just saw like torso and assumed," and I was like, "You saw torso with tits." You saw torso with not a tit. What the hell?
That was a horrible lie.
You know what? Obviously, that guy has not been out very much.
Wasn't a guy. It was a chick.
Seriously.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who knew that the life of a glamazon was like that difficult?
Wow.
Oh, good shit. Okay, who has something about world building? We gotta actually.
I think you had some questions.
we do, guys.
We did. We actually did. We had a question from our good friend Leggy, and I'm hoping it didn't roll off. I don't think it has yet. Oh shit. Maybe. Nope. There it is. Whew. All right. So in world building, what is your approach? Start with a single character and build up, or go right to your own universe and flesh out each character?
Good question.
Well, I say that depends on the story you're telling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be a one shot? You know, are you doing an ongoing series? How vast do you want this to be? Because I mean, you look at just one shot stories that never go anywhere after it, then the extent of that is what you're reading. But then again, there's writers who will still build a whole world around that and take the time to have different alleyways you could go down, but they never do. It's just for them, you know, which I feel like, I don't know.
Strikes me as vanity.
I'm not, it's weird because like I love putting all these little details into my stuff, and yet I wouldn't consider myself a fan of world building. Like the way I like to create the world is the world has to serve the story I want to tell. So the concept I'm going for that when I really hit home with this, like the world has to serve it, if that makes sense. So like the world starts evolving around the visuals and the concepts and the ideas and the themes that I'm going with. And another thing I'm afraid of as a writer, I don't know about you guys, but you meet other writers who all they do is world build and they never get to the story part. And I don't want to fall into this vast world of like technicalities to worry about when I write. I like to be free. I like to feel like lightness where I have a general idea of the visuals, you know, but nothing, it's not like, you know, Tolkien is going to be, you know, impressed with what I'm doing. You know, I build slowly from there, and you know, there's not hobbits and dwarves playing in my shit. So
no, I'm really a lot the same way. Like I sit with too many writers that never actually pull the trigger on writing their story because they're so consumed with creating every detail about the world. And like I think it goes between personalities. You have some people that are hyper analytical and they don't feel like they can write until they know the laws and the rules and the regulations of whatever world they're working within. And then you have people that are more like Vaughn or more like me, they're just kind of like fly by the seat of your pants. And then you write something and you go, oh, how's that going to work? And you're like, this way. That's how I'm going to make it work. Yep. There we go.
I'm sort of somewhere in between. You know, there's an in-between approach to that. What I do is I like to have a Bible. The question is always, are you creating the world to suit the character, or are you creating the character to suit the world? Right? And it's the same thing with the story, with a plot. Is the plot, you know, do you create a character to fit that plot, or do you do it the other way around? if I'm working with something where I know like there's going to be like a wider universe, I like to have a Bible, and that's generally one of the first things I create. But that doesn't mean I can't change it. That doesn't mean that it's like written in stone. But it gives me like a sense of security, because of course you want things to be consistent.
Right. I can understand that. Justin, how do you feel?
I'm actually the same as Brian because of like my animation background. I make a Bible, and that's just something like you have to do in animation. What I do is I figure out my world first, but I don't try to go all token-esque of like and 500. No. I just do enough where I go, okay, so these are the rules more or less, slight rules. A basic, backbone, and then I go, okay. And then from there, I just kind of throw in my characters in and figure out from there my characters and the story I want to tell. But yeah, I do kind of figure out what my playground is a little bit.
Luke, what about you?
I check what I'm writing based, because I usually start with a scenario like, all right, so what if this happens? And then I have a character that pops up and says, oh, I'll handle this situation. And I always check to see what I'm writing. Does it check out with the scenario? That will inform what needs to be built for the world that I'm creating, and the character will react accordingly. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of how I roll. It's as much as I hate to say it, Mark Waid in Countdown to Wednesday, he said writing is the voyage of discovery, and that always stuck with me. He said if I can't figure out what the ending's going to be, then other people shouldn't be able to figure it out either. That may or may not be true, but discovering the world as you go along, kind of with your reader is how I like to roll.
Yeah, and you usually focus on one character that is our entrance into that world. We sort of discover the world with that character. Yeah.
Yes. Totally.
Nice. Before I get to you, Will,
hey, play
so we got another super chat. Thank you very much. $2. World building super chat. Excited.
That's the other Dan. That's Dan Plagle.
Okay.
There's only two.
Stop it.
There's only two that ever have existed in the history of life.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, what do you think? World building.
I don't know. My persistent theme in this podcast is to say that I'm essentially not very creative, so I can't just like pull shit out of my head and say, okay, I'm going to write a story about a transsexual dwarf robbing banks to pay for his appendicitis operation. I can't do that. I have to like create a world,
Read it. And you can't create a world around that?
No.
It sounds like a total drugged out, underground story. Why not?
Well, if Frankie was here, he could probably make something of it, but that's Frankie.
Frankie could, yeah.
Why the hell did I try to take a drink?
Because Frankie knows.
Frankie would.
Frankie says, "Relax."
Would squeeze his nose and be like, "I can do it."
And he would, and it would be like the best book you've ever read.
And it would be good. That's the thing.
So he's already doing the pigeon, and now he's going to do the transsexual dwarf.
The pigeon.
It's such a deep cut from this show now. I really need like a t-shirt.
What's the title?
The pigeon.
Or the transsexual dwarf.
Oh
yeah. Is that just the title already?
Reaching upwards? I don't know.
Trans fund? No.
It's
transracial.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was coughing. I totally missed all of that.
All right. Well, see there. I guess I created some because Christopher wants to see it, so maybe we'll crowdfund that one.
You never know.
Anyways, but in all seriousness, so I think I go with what kind of a little bit of what everyone said is that I need that feeling of safety, that there's a world, that there's a vocabulary that I can always fall back on. And also when you're creating the world, when you're sitting down the world, you're sucking yourself in the story.
Yeah.
And you're getting inspired by trying to work out the history of something.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised what springs up from that as you're doing it.
Absolutely.
And you might end up doing something completely different than what you set out to do. You might go, oh, that's cool. I like those limitations. I like the fact that that's missing. And I've found personally, when you have the world laid out, it naturally selects your characters in the environment that you've created. So they get naturally spat out. And they go, okay, this is what's going to produce this guy or girl. This is how women are going to act in this world. This is how men are going to act in this world. This is the class system. So there's not. It's sort of a lazy way to get around going from the bottom up, which is character up. The world just sort of will generate them as you go. I like that approach. It works best for me.
Yeah.
See, I kind of cheated with Monster MD. That's why I liked the idea so much. Part of why I liked it, because I was like, monsters are real. Okay, let's go from there. Like, that's a world that's already established that I don't have to like sweat over. The fun and creative part, the problem solving part, as I call it, or as you called it, discoveries, is that you figure out how to make it your own world and add to it in ways that don't break it and make it more interesting and fun and bring it down to like science level. And I think that's part of one of the cool things about Monster MD. So it's one of those things where like, yeah, the big world building, done for me. Now I could just focus on this little microcosm of like a doctor in a van with an invisible chick and keep it there.
But here's the thing. It's not completely done for you, because every story writer who writes about vampires, werewolves, any kind of mythological creature, they always have to have the rules, right? And they're different for every approach. So what kind of a werewolf? What kind of a vampire, right? Does this kill them? Do they have a weakness to silver bullets? No, silver bullets don't kill werewolves, but they kill vampires, etc., etc. Sorry for stepping on you there, Will.
Oh no, I was just going to say it goes along the lines of what you just said, which is once you do the groundwork of the world, you create internal logic. So if there's werewolves, there's a logic to werewolves, right? And what effect does that logic have on the world, right? That werewolves exist and that vampires exist. Like, is it a surprise that vampires exist? Is it hidden that vampires exist? Because that's going to affect the physics of everything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like if it were public knowledge, then it would be an alternate universe story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, so vampires can't just run around and be vampires, right? So the vampires are going to behave in a certain way.
Right.
Right. Or they're not going to be beastly, or they're going to be more, easily hidden, like Vampire the Masquerade, our everyone's favorite role playing game.
Right. Or you look at something like Requiem Vampire Night by Pat Mills and Ledoux, and it's set in hell, and it's just a world full of vampires. Yeah. And, people who were like evil and knew they were evil, they come back as vampires. People who thought they were good and were actually evil, they come back as ghouls. And then like Torquemada comes back as a werewolf and all that stuff. But yeah, it all depends on your world. And I think audiences are way more familiar with the concept of alternate realities now than they were, say, maybe 10 years ago.
Yes. Right. It's become part of the lexicon.
Yeah,
which is what, by the way, what makes them, the sequels to Highlander so hard to swallow and hard to do, because you guys created a world with an internal logic. There can only be one, and when there's one, he wins the prize. There's no more mortals, and you can't keep making sequels because you can't get around your own logic.
Exactly.
Yes, we can. Shut up.
Because the script says so. You're fucking alien. We're all aliens now.
I remember thinking the last Highlander was okay, though.
Which one?
No, not the one they shot in Russia, where he's like fighting with the butterfly knives. Did you see that one? That was
okay. No, that wasn't the one I saw.
I've never seen Highlander.
Oh, that was the last one, dude. That was the last one. To stay away.
Hey Shae, you should let Frankie know what we were saying that we need his services on. So
yeah, well, I think he was listening, hence why he said, I feel like my nose was itching. Were you talking about me?
He knows where to go. I mean,
Frankie, in addition to the pigeon, you have to write the story of the transsexual dwarf bank robber, and we think it could be a big hit. Please, thank you.
And
yeah,
he could draw it.
Thank you very much, Leg Kick, for the $5. I gotta send one. Shae, you have a fun channel. I appreciate that. That makes me very happy. Especially because I was told earlier today that my channel sucks and I have bad judgment, which made me laugh really
your channel
really
sucks,
hard.
Shae. You have terrible judge character.
I do. I let you on repeatedly. So obviously,
I am a daily reminder of your failure.
Where there's a Will, there's a Shae.
That was terrible. Holy shit, that was bad. Leg Kick also said, did any of you guys listen to the San Diego Comic-Con panels on Jack Kirby? Anybody listen to them?
There was a San Diego Comic Con.
No.
I know that was my reaction.
Did you not know that?
They did
I
like
don't-
a
Most
like
people
a live
didn't watch
stream
it.
or
It
something.
bombed. Yeah, it was
It
all
was like a
live
bunch
stream,
of
and
Zoom
it-
meetings.
Hey, whoa,
basically.
one at a time. One at a time. Justin.
I mean, like if you look at the numbers, that shit flopped. Like almost no
Really?
one watched it. Any
Because
of it.
who?
Hell
Okay, hold up.
Good.
If we're gonna start calling like San Diego Comic Con, we're gonna do it like virtually. Explain to me how that's different than what we're doing right now.
How did not turn into like an OnlyFans of a bunch of thoughts showing their cosplay costumes and like dancing for money? Like
I would have watched that.
Right? But as to what Shae said, my friend Simon Sim Poitier always says CG is just like a 24-hour a day, 365 days a year con.
I was
That's
going to
true.
say the bar from Star Wars, but
Yeah, or whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, brother.
Buddy, what were you saying about the San Diego Comic Con?
It was basically a Zoom meeting. Right. That was all they did. It was just one big Zoom meeting, and they just kept ushering in. The only halfway good one they said was like the New Mutants panel. Where but the thing is that movie had the zeitgeist that had people's attention.
Totally.
It looked like a horror movie for about about a month, and they didn't capitalize on that. If they'd have put that VOD, it might have made $400 or $500 million.
They
They
haven't
haven't wrapped their heads around that yet.
its original format.
Now no one cares.
it was a New Mutants movie.
No, it was supposed to come out 3 years ago, and they kept refilming, pushing it back, rewriting stuff, and it's gonna come out on Disney Plus now.
So it's a disaster, basically.
Yeah.
The whole production of it was. It's funny because everyone's
Oh, yeah, well-
5 years older. I don't know.
And
The newest trailer actually caught my attention. Fucking magic.
Oh yeah.
Their arm.
Oh
looks
yeah. No,
awesome.
the trailer looked great because I was like, what? They're doing New Mutants as a fucking horror movie? Okay, I'll watch that at least.
Well, I mean,
But-
Demon Bear. Shit, that shit writes
They're doing the
itself.
Demon Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Demon Bear stuff.
The thing is Hollywood hasn't wrapped its head around the concept of releasing mainstream movies the way that indie films are released. When indie films are released, what they do is they play in art house theaters across the country or across the world, right? Usually a college town will have one. All the big cities have them. So it'll play on a certain limited number of screens, and on the very same day, it releases VOD. So if you're not in the city or if you're not in a college town and you still want to see it the day it comes out, boom, VOD. And I think that's a great way to market films, but they haven't wrapped their heads around it because it always takes them time. Like they didn't want to put movies originally on VHS because they were thinking, oh my God, if we put our movies on VHS, nobody's going to go to the movies anymore.
Listen, it always takes dinosaurs a wee bit of time to adapt or they fucking die.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, you actually, I don't know why when you said
right.
art house theater, this came to mind for world building, but I think another thing we should address about world building isn't necessarily history, isn't necessarily internal logic, but also how it aids the tone of what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
So for example, what came to mind when you said art house, I thought of Seven, right? And I think about when people talk about that film Seven, the David Fincher movie,
Yeah.
People think it's the most violent film ever made. Like it's the most, like they think they've seen some of the most depraved violence they've ever seen.
Yeah.
But then there's no violence in the film.
No, none.
Right? The tone is so violent.
Exactly. It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
People think that they've seen shit that's not in that movie.
Right. There's no blood. And
there's no blood.
I think the tone, the heat of that film and the nastiness.
Ominous.
But also in Seven, the rain and the dark and the grittiness of it.
And the fact that you can't identify the city, that the city is shot in such a way there are no landmarks.
Right.
So that city now is like a fictitious film noir city, or it's every city.
And I think Sin City does that really well. Sin City feels very violent when you read it. You know, it is violent, but it looks violent.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like the thing that I'm doing now with Preston, Nine Devils, that's set in a world that's been overrun with demons. Right? There's been like basically hell has invaded Earth, like as if they were like a alien invasion, except it's coming down, they come up, and for that, it's just like that's going to be like a really bleak world. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, but there have to be elements of light, and the elements of light, of course, are going to come from the characters.
Sure.
Real quick before we continue, Death Metal Hero, thank you, Luke, for the $10.
Hell yeah.
Nice one, brother.
We can do this now. Hail the MFing chat and hail Red Valkyrie. Thank you, Luke. That's very sweet. It's your birthday. You're not supposed to give me things.
I know,
on
seriously,
your birthday.
brother.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm thankful for all of you. Like you guys are all a bunch of nerds that I can hang out with. Like when I wasn't able to go to the comic shop, I didn't get the chance to hang out with my people. And doing this, I get to hang out with my people. So I dig this shit. So.
And the fact that I leave you like 15 paragraphs on your DMs to read.
Dude, you know I love that shit.
Will writes him like memoirs and is like, when you have a moment.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he also calls me sir, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Will calls you sir.
Yeah, it's like I'm hanging out with one of the Peanuts, Peppermint Patty, and
oh
I'll do the Shakespeare boy. I'll do that one.
Boy, that's
boy.
Also, thank you, Unhinged Entertainment, for the $5. Happy birthday to Death Metal Hero.
Unhinged, welcome,
appreciate
sir.
it, Jason.
And I also wanted to say thank you, Mirasphere's Origin, for coming by. I believe this is the first time that you've been hanging out in our chat, and I appreciate you.
And there's 26 of you.
Peace
Thank
out.
you. That's so nice of you.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's awesome. You guys are amazing.
This is like the show, the little sub show in your channel that could,
It tries so hard. It just keeps chugging along.
I think I can.
Because we started with 4 people, now we're getting up there,
Yeah, we're working on it. We're getting there eventually.
Can I make a suggestion? I think one of the things that we definitely should do is we should go around and give our picks for like the best realized fictitious worlds, right?
I like it. I think that's good.
No
Since
Tolkien.
it was your
Tolkien
idea.
is off the table because we all can agree on that.
So
since it was your idea, let's start with Brian.
Okay, yeah. For me, it's like, okay, you got to give it to Tolkien. Middle Earth. Close second though for me, Robert E. Howard, Hyboria, and Robert E. Howard killed himself when he was about 31 years old. So Tolkien had a lifetime to build that world. He had time to create entire languages, right? Like Elven, he created Elven script. So that was a life work for him. And Howard, had nowhere near as much time, and he created a world that I think is actually, just for me personally, way cooler, because it's like Middle Earth, but it's darker, it's meaner, it's nastier, it's sexier. Third place.
Yeah, Howard borrowed a fair bit from Lovecraft. They were friends.
Oh yeah. Two Gun Bob and or Brother Conan is what Lovecraft used to call Howard. And I've read their collected letters back and forth. They had a very very heavy duty correspondence, and it's interesting because it's just like you would think that Howard would be sort of fascistic, right? Being the guy who said barbarism is the natural state of mankind, but actually they were sort of at opposite ends. It was they're very enlightening. But third place, I'd have to put Barsoom from the John Carter series.
Oh yeah, Edgar Rice Burroughs. And then of course Pellucidar, also by Edgar Rice Burroughs, which is the world at the Earth's core. Okay.
Nice.
That would be my top 4.
Vaughn, what about you?
Oh man, I was just trying to figure out.
Just name 4.
What is my world? Yeah,
you can't use
that. You like the big epic ones, man. I like things like Blade Runner and because I get into aesthetics and stuff.
Oh God,
and I get into what how do the visuals serve the story and change it into something.
I feel like
noir.
That's one of the best ever.
I'm just looking at my books, man. I love them, and there's so many great worlds here that have like inspired me. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I thought, was such a brilliant world build for the type of hero that they live in the sewer and it's kind of like scummy and they're underground. They're up top being badasses too. I mean,
and the Tricerodon world was really cool too. That little galactic world they went to.
Yeah, and then I like the world in The Goon by Eric Powell. It's like a 1930s Popeye cartoon gone like dark gothy, like with like really good humor, but then like good violence and like just twists and turns. Your heart gets ripped out, but then you're laughing. You know, it's great characters, great art, but like you don't really hear about the world outside of the little town he's in. It's like it's a town. It's a rundown, shitty town, and that's it. Like there's nothing else out there. And I just love stuff like that sometimes when it's kind of almost in a little snow globe for you to like behold get the details of it, you know,
like a pocket dimension.
Yeah, I mean, what else? So I guess I don't get into the epic ones as much, but sometimes I like Preacher. Do you guys ever, you know? That world was so unhinged, and like, Preacher. You know what I loved about it? It was so crazy and over the top, and yet everything felt like it made sense to its own logic that it set.
Yes,
and that's good world building, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There was a fucked up logic to the entire world. I mean, it had its own logic.
I mean, the logic was if it's like if it's sacred, it's profane.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Whew.
And Garth had a shake all over it.
What about you, buddy?
Midcamia, Kellerwan, probably books that people don't recognize. A guy named Raymond E. Feast wrote a book called The Rift War Saga. What was great about it was that as you started into it, you were into the first generation, and you got to know these like kings and queens and everybody, and it took you into this like really visceral, hard life, and then all of a sudden, this kind of visceral, hard, dark mythology became like a high fantasy. And as it became a high fantasy, like it's kind of funny because you would think the characters became stronger. They didn't really. There was like one or two that did, but most of them became weaker, and it was harder for them to survive. And I thought that was interesting and a different take on that. You know, that like, hey, your life became easier, so you all became easier people. And they would say that. They would say, my dad could do this, you know, easier. My grandfather could have done this and no problem. He's like, but here I am, you know, suffering, trying to raise the morale of these troops, and I don't know how.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, high fantasy as a genre has given us so much. I mean, you know, the modern guy, of course, would be George R.R. Martin. He created a universe, you know, long before he created like the Game of Thrones universe, which was like a gothic sci-fi universe that he would set all of his gothic horror science fiction stories in. And, you know, he even created like a little lexicon in the back, you know, where you could like look up like, well, what's a knot man? And, you know, like
Skin Trade.
I'm sorry? Oh, Skin Trade. Yeah. Skin Trade, which was a werewolf story. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a graphic novel about that. I think Avatar put it out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I never read that. There was a I think there was a Sand Kings graphic novel, but I don't think it had anything to do. No, wait, there's a Sand Kings TV movie that had like nothing to do with the story, but there was a Sand Kings graphic novel that was pretty faithful.
I tried to read the books he edited. It's the superhero books, Wild Cards.
Wild Cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shared universe.
Some of those were really good. Some of those were boring as fuck.
Yeah. Some are good though.
Yeah, the tantric magic threw me a little bit.
The one where somebody was writing as if they were Hunter S. Thompson and like hanging out with some of the the Jokers. This Joker had a face like a can of smashed assholes, and that was pretty good. Somebody just writing as if they were Hunter S. Thompson. That was pretty neat.
The Great and Powerful Turtle was a good character.
Yeah.
You know, all of the Martin stories I thought were really good.
They did comics of those as well, I want to say.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
What about you, Will?
It's a good question because I was actually thinking about this before the stream. Nothing as big and grand as what the other guys have said, but I was thinking, okay, if we're talking about worlds within things we know, right? Who's a filmmaker I really enjoy that that goes into a certain area of what we know and makes a world unto itself. And I picked out 2 movies that kind of illustrate this. And the first one is this one, if you guys have seen this.
Oh, hold on.
Which is Michael Mann's Thief.
Oh, classic.
Oh, yeah.
And of course,
one of the best soundtracks ever, too.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
I picked these 2 for a reason, because these aren't mundane things, right? Michael Mann takes rules of these professions, for example, being a contract thief or a professional heistman, basically, which is a crew like in Heat that's led by Robert De Niro, right? They have rules. They're not just cowboy guys running into a 7-Eleven shooting everybody. They're like a tactical unit, and they're very professional. They go after certain things. They go after one objective. They don't steal everything. There's honor and there's rules, and then there's an opposite to that, which is the police, who have their own honor and rules, and that they kind of bang against each other in this kind of adversarial relationship, right? That's not just cops and robbers, right? There's an ethic that they both recognize because they're both professionals, And to me, that's a very interesting world, because there's a shared camaraderie between the 2 sides opposing each other, right? Because they recognize each other's values.
Yeah.
And
so you're talking about subcultures, really.
Right, but I think that's interesting because, in Thief, for example, and this is more of a world thing,
right?
Is it takes place exclusively at night, and it's in Chicago where there's no skyline, so it looks like a maze that the character is kind of moving through, and he's moving through these dark, rainy streets, and he's by himself like a rat in a maze until he gets caught by the handlers, which is the Irish mob, and says, "Hey, we can make you rich," and suddenly he's ensnared, and he has to figure out how to get back to being the rat hiding in the maze to get out of the snare, right? To me, that's a cool way to do a world within things we know, that has rules.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right.
What do you think, Justin?
Hi. My top 3, Toy Story, because Pixar, they world build all their movies. Like, they have a set of rules of what can and can't happen. Toy Story was the toys are alive, people don't know it. Because when humans come by, toys play dead and act like a toy. And then they broke that same rule in the first movie to scare the shit out of Sid. But when they have and if you look at all of Pixar's movies, there's certain rules and stuff that they do for all of their stuff. Vampire Hunter D, the novels were great.
That was a whole
excellent choice, my friend. Excellent
one of the first
choice.
anime stuff I got.
They did sci-fi and horror so well together.
Yeah.
And I was I remember being a teenager in middle school, especially going, oh, so nuclear bombs destroyed everything, and then monsters came back, and then vampires were we're just gonna genetically infuse everything. Screw it.
Yeah.
There's robot horses, and you're like, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so amazing. Yeah, I love. They started translating those light novels, and I love them.
Yeah. And then the third one is done by also my favorite film director, Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. That whole movie is world building.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Definitely.
And there's logic as well.
When I'm getting ready to write, I like to do a good bit of research. I don't like to overdo it, but that research will influence the rules and the choices I make in the world. And trying to figure out ways to break those rules is fun too.
Yes.
To surprise people. So yeah, it's you set yourself up for success when you do just the right amount of research on what you're doing, so it still has that realness and rules, but it's also it's your rules, because these people are on your ride. You need to entertain the hell out of them.
Exactly. Well, right. Like when you're working with a pre-established mythology, right? The thing I'm working on now, okay, it's Christian mythology, but then I'm but every culture has demons, right? So then I can look at all of the different interpretations of demons from all around the world and be like, hey, maybe I'll take a little of this, I'll take a little of that, right?
Yep.
If you're working with the Norse pantheon, if you're working with the Greek gods, that's an established set of rules. It doesn't mean that you have to follow them, though.
Right.
You could say, oh, well, it said this in the book. Yeah, well, in reality, it's more like this.
I mean, that's basically my whole theme with Sins of the Fae, is that it's, I call it borrowed mythology, in that the main kind of anchor point of whatever mythology of that character is there, but it's through my lens. So it's not for the reason you think it is.
Right.
Nice.
That's fair.
Yeah. We all make that's the thing. We all make the rules, but I think it's important that the audience, the reader, they don't really need to know everything, but I think there are certain things that they don't need to know that we need to know.
Well, what it does is when you use borrowed mythology is it creates a system of variable reward, because they're expecting to find something. They're like, oh, I know what that is. And then they find they're like, yeah, that's what I figured. And they're like, oh, that's not what I figured.
Right.
And then they're like, well, what about this one? That's not what I figured either.
Exactly.
And now you've got them.
Right, and then you've got all these other interpretations that you can look at, right? That you're aware of, and you can be like, yeah, I don't think I want to repeat that. What if I did what if I inverted that idea? That sort of a thing, right? Like everybody imagines like the devil, not the medieval devil. I mean, the way that people thought of the devil now is very different from the way they think of the devil in the Dark Ages, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now people, if you were to mention Lucifer or Satan, you don't imagine the guy with the pitchfork and the red underoos and the horns and everything like that. You imagine, if anything, like a really charming, good-looking guy with like mad crazy charisma. Yep.
No one thinks of you, Vaughn. Come on.
Phil, what would be yours?
So some worlds that I love that I think are, Will picked on Sin City. I think that's great, a great world that Frank Miller came up with. But also, Watchmen is super vast, and I mean, you look at that graphic novel, and that whole thing is world building to like the snippets of newspapers that are in the panel that Dave Gibbons threw in there, foreshadowing things, and it's insane how vast that is. And even though it's set in a familiar time and reality, you have those big Zeppelin blimps floating around that take you out of reality. The weird electronic cigarettes that they had in there, just everything he was thinking of, and he was writing a bunch of other stuff. He was writing Swamp Thing at the same time while writing The Watchmen.
Yeah, man.
But I wanted to bring up also something that, kind of a book that one of the world building rules, like Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, it's there is no rules.
Right.
Like it's the villains and everything. It's nonsensical, just fantasy stuff where that is world building in itself, where the fact that anything can happen at any moment, that anything he thinks of, where it's as if he just sat down at the typewriter that minute and it's like, oh, I just, I'm looking at a pair of scissors, and then those are villains, right? The giant, the guys with scissor hands.
He's a genius, man.
Some writers thrive with the freedom to do whatever they want when they want, and some thrive with those rules as like a guide,
Absolutely. Constraints force you to be more creative very often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those two, like Watchmen and Doom Patrol, are kind of like on the two ends of the spectrum, in my opinion, on world building, and they're both excellent. Yeah.
You ever read
good examples?
Yeah.
You ever read Invisibles?
No, I didn't. I always wanted to, but I
know.
Same here.
Definitely go read the Invisibles.
Yeah,
that's for sure. It's like Grant Morrison started on these ideas with Doom Patrol, and then took them to their penultimate point with Invisibles.
I keep meaning to read that. You see,
brilliant.
Grant Morrison is one of those guys that's just a freaking genius, and can pull off things that I certainly wouldn't dare.
I also highly recommend listening to his speech at the DisinfoCon from way back in the years of yore.
Yeah, mute the first 30 seconds of it because he just screams for 30 seconds.
Oh, was this the Chaos Magic convention?
Well, that was part of it. There's also
okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. No, it's very good. And he also wrote in there's a book that I have that's interviews with comic book writers. I'm sorry, Phil, you were going to say?
No, nothing. I was done. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Grant Morrison has a really good section in that. Let me see if I can find that, actually, because I think this is something you folks would want to invest in.
I liked Warren Ellis's Planetary, when he kind of rewrote a bunch
Yes.
of when he just took all these different universes and put them together, mashed it into some, kind of strange conglomerate of the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Warren Ellis. Oops, he's canceled.
Oh my gosh.
For hitting on chicks. As far as I can tell, that was all he did.
And
Castlevania
Castlevania.
is so fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
season 4
awesome.
will be his last season.
Yeah, that's
This will be the last fucking season I watched. Then, like, you know what?
Yeah, same here.
Has nobody ever read Transmetropolitan? Like,
oh, it's awesome.
Seriously, the man that wrote Transmetropolitan, you're really?
Yeah, man.
You're gonna go after him for that shit?
Yeah, he needs to go.
He beat him.
my career enough.
23.
While Brian is looking for his book, Mr. Birthday Boy Rocksteady Lukey Luke over there. Don't know if you noticed that changed your name for you.
I do. Appreciate that.
What are your choices for world building?
World
stories?
building. Well, the aforementioned Transmetropolitan. If you've never read that, that's this entire futuristic world, and it's basically Hunter S. Thompson in the future with a bowel disruptor and gonzo journalism to the nth degree. And it's society just gone nuts, and just he creates this whole world of like society taken to like the extreme without any I don't know, without any holding back. And then he sets Spider Jerusalem loose on it, and he just fucking tears it apart. It's wonderful. It's beautiful satire, and it's it's an amazing comic by Warren Ellis and Derek Robertson.
Amen. I second that.
And then another one would be Poison Elves by Drew Hayes.
Oh God, I remember that was. Oh,
Yeah,
that's like, man.
Started
Bless
out
his
as
past.
Lucifer.
Right.
He changed the name because he got sick of the questions and the letters about it being about Satan all the time. He's like, no. Fuck, all right, fine. The character's, it was a D&D character. And the D&D character got so powerful he couldn't play with him because it just killed everything in one hit. So he turned him into a comic book character. A malcontent elf that was young in the eyes of his people, but, old by human standards. And, Christopher John, thank you, sir. But yeah, just it starts out seeming like it's going to be like this generic, like 14th century high fantasy, and then all of a sudden he's getting a like basically a soul gem and like a gun that has infinite ammo, and there's imps and dragons and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it takes a severe bend sideways, and he just creates his own version of this dark fantasy reality. It's fantastic.
Nice.
And then my third choice would be The Fifth Element.
Oh, such a good environment.
So basically, the Inkal.
Fine, whatever, man.
That's fair.
Yeah,
it's fair to say.
I mean, I've never read that, but I know what you mean.
Thought it was the Inkal.
He was influenced by Mobius, Blueberry, all that stuff.
That's why Jodorowsky sued him.
Can I just say how wonderfully impressive it is watching Brian with his cordless headset that he could just walk all around his whole fucking room with.
No,
and
like,
still
it
hear other people
looked
talk.
like Nosferatu, the shadow on the wall when he was going up the stairs. That's a long ass shadow. It was like, going up the stairs.
Y'all didn't see my butt crack, did you?
Yes, and I looked.
Not today.
Quite intently at it.
Will screen grabbed it for inspiration later.
Oh God!
It's not going to be my avatar now when we come in. It's just like Brian.
Seriously, it's a problem with me. I'm the man with no ass, or so it's like my pants just naturally droop.
Oh, I know, brother.
Isn't that just called a man? Most y'all don't got butts.
Hey, Shae.
But I especially don't have any junk in the trunk.
Hold on. I'm not just throwing shade to throw shade, okay? I couldn't get pants that would fit me that would be long enough. I had to buy men's pants growing up. Y'all don't have an ass, okay?
Shae,
You don't.
Shae, you obviously haven't been to my OnlyFans. I have looked at that. And I suggest that come on to my OnlyFans. You can finance me there, and I have many things for you guys.
Ryan, that's for you. You go onto Will's OnlyFans and
Okay. And I should just mention fat bottom girls make the rockin' world go round.
Really?
I like ass. I am a happy ass man.
Fat bottom girls.
Oh my God.
I scared somebody. I scared this lady at the supermarket because I had like my iPod, and like I was in line behind her, and suddenly like I yell, "Get on your bikes and ride!"
Yeah, that'll do it, man.
Yeah,
I could see it. Yeah.
I thoued you saying fat bottom girls, but okay.
I could just see some lady like grabbing her children.
Way more epic.
She's like, get away from the man! Get away from the man!
He's hopped up on something. Kids, don't do drugs.
Yo, girl.
This is the book. It's called Writers on Comics Script Writing, and it includes interviews with Kurt Busiek, Peter David, Chuck Dixon, Warren Ellis, Garth Ennis, Neil Gaiman, Devin Grayson, Dan Jurgens, Joe Kelly, Jeff Loeb, Todd McFarlane, Frank Miller, Grant Morrison, and of course everybody's favorite Mark Waid. So definitely check this out. It's very interesting and very illuminating. It's not like a good nuts and bolts book, but it's just if you're writing comics, you want to you want to hear what the people that you look up to and admire what their process is like.
Sure. I have the artist companion to that, artists on comics, artists on comics, or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that there was one.
Oh yeah.
No, Brian is immediately going to Amazon. Yep. I don't know if y'all noticed that. He was like, "Oh shit, hold on."
Yep. They've got Steve Dillon in there. They've got Mark Silvestri, J. Scott Campbell, Jim Lee. Like they all have a section just like they do in the writers one. I haven't been able to find the writers one. That's cool.
I think that also, if you're a writer and you're not an artist, it's good to learn as much about art as you possibly can. Like one of the biggest compliments I've gotten, and this was from Preston, was he said, "You're not art blind." I'm like, what? And he says, well, I work with people sometimes and they're art blind. Like they just don't know what looks good. They don't know anything about the history of art. It just doesn't click in their head.
To be perfectly honest, so I've helped manage a couple different artists when they have commissions that come in, and so I see the commissions before they actually get to the artists in a couple of instances, and there's been so many times where I go back and I was like, yeah, you can't have that. And they were like, what? And I was like, so you want somebody to draw you something that's going to go on a card, a little card. And I was like, and you gave me something that would be on the fucking Sistine Chapel as far as detail. And you want it on a tiny little card. And I was like, we could do it. You will not be able to tell anything. It will look like fucking like pointillism colors just everywhere. You won't know what the hell you have. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, well, you don't know. I'm like, you're right. Let me go ahead and give it to the artist. Hey, the artist came back and said, no, try again.
And like one thing you definitely don't want to hear from your artist is, how do you expect me to draw that?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, can I address Unhinged Entertainment's comment where he says, Will works for Frege, so he has to have ass titty. Well, I want to give you guys a spoiler from Black Flag Pineapple Perception. There's actually a character in the script called that we refer to in the script as Fine Ass Mexican Weather Girl. And she is mentioned so much in the first couple pages of the script that we have to give an acronym, FAMWG, every time I mention her.
Oh my god! Oh, that's awesome.
Is she based on that fine ass Mexican weather girl?
Because Dan was like, okay, we're gonna have this character. You know the fine. I'm like, yes, I know, Dan, exactly.
There's this weather girl. Everyone goes, I already have her bookmarked. You don't even got to go any
Mexican.
further.
I said, yeah, I know exactly. And we started like Googling it and giggling together and going, you know, like.
I don't watch
I never
brother's
watched
gonna love
the
that.
news of the weather. Like it's mundane and mind-boggling to me to just sit and stare at. So I
You will
never
now.
watch it, and I know who the fuck you're talking about. The second
Exactly,
you said it, I was
ass titty.
the
So
one
we're like,
who has been memed into oblivion. That I was like, damn, okay.
That's like
and we
the,
like veered. We in that discussion we veered into like a 3-hour discussion about just her. You know.
Wait, is
There
this
you
what
go.
I think it is? I gotta look her up now.
Just
like
type in
the
fine-ass Mexican weather girl.
Australian hurdler that does the dance.
Who?
You guys? Oh, you have not. There's this Australian hurdler, and she was for about 5-6 years. She was real popular because she does this this dance every time right before she hurdles.
No, I never seen that.
Australian
That
hurdler.
sounds amazing.
You have not. Everybody, he's looking
Sounds
it up
like
right
something
now.
to watch on the Jack Show.
Are we gonna put up the Mexican weather girl for everybody in the chat so they know what we're talking about?
If you want to share screen,
I was.
Brian, can you share?
Yoga pants.
I think
Yoga
she should make it
pants,
a
man.
Brian, share with us.
Let me see.
Wow.
You're not as impaired as I am with
Wait.
technology, are you?
I kind of am a bit of a Luddite, actually.
Okay, so we're both boomers.
Yeah. No, I'm an Xer, but boomerish when it comes to
Okay.
This is
technology.
world building.
Ryan,
Yeah.
don't hit the giant red X. That's the lesson Will is still trying to learn. Don't hit the giant red X when
X
you go to
means
click
good,
share
right?
screen.
Oh.
Actually, Will, go ahead and hit that. It's okay.
X-Men, you know,
I mean, yo,
X-Men.
it's totally stands for X-Men.
Thank you,
Best
Phil.
X will let you join
There we
in.
go.
Thank you, Phil.
There she is. See what I mean? That's going to be in Black Flag Pineapple Perception. So please
I'm
back the
telling
book. Back 3 times.
She has such a pretty face.
she does too, but man.
Damn, that is
Cool.
good weather.
Again,
Yeah,
that's her
man.
name in the script.
That's called body goals. That's like workout goals that I'll never get to.
What I say is like
No,
cutting,
that's genetics.
That's both. That's both. Because I'm telling
I
you
think-
right now, genetics ain't the only thing doing this. It's like fucking
Hey, man.
keto and hot yoga and shit.
I
23
lived in a Puerto Rican neighborhood.
Oh,
Will, you know where this is going, don't you, brother?
I'm from LA, so that's who I know I have my share of beautiful Latina women.
Oh my God! And it's terrible too because these girls are like
No,
16,
I've heard you talk about this before.
17 years old, and you know where this is going, right, Phil? And you can't help it because
Yeah,
like
I've heard you talk about
you're
it.
male
You
and
don't
you're
come out.
straight, so you're gonna notice things.
There's no way.
And
Hey,
this
they look
is
like
the
they're
night
25.
Brian cancels
You not to
himself.
sound creepy.
Whoa! What is that?
Yeah.
And then you catch yourself and you're just like, oh God, I'm going to hell. Oh God, I'm a horrible
Yep.
man. I'm a
Yeah,
horrible,
this is the
horrible,
night
horrible,
Brian
horrible,
cancels
horrible
himself.
man.
Brian canceled.
I canceled myself a long time ago. Once I decloaked under my actual name. So
I actually here's what I wrote. I just put, here is a fine-ass Mexican weather girl explaining what is being done about the serious problems befalling Dagger City. She's dressed way up or way down, depending on how you look at it, for what's going on around her.
Luke, what are you sharing? What is
Glad I
this?
brought back that
Oh,
book.
it just you said body goals and like this belly dancer.
Oh my! What is this stream
Hey, my last girlfriend was a belly dancer.
degraded to?
really,
Yeah.
I heard you need really good knees. That it's actually like a really good workout.
She had a beautiful stomach.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Her mother was a belly dancer too, and her mom was fine. So I'm like, ooh, if I marry this chick, she'll be fine too.
Right.
So,
Much better if you
Oh
can
man,
do
I could watch that
Why
for
not?
hours.
her mom was was pretty hot actually. I was like, geez, okay, good. I know she's got some good genes now.
Right.
Buddy, I'm slightly terrified. All right, before I click on it, we need another opinion on this, I think. So, hi Frankie, how you doing?
What up, Frankie?
What up, Frankie?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Are you working on my transsexual dwarf bank robber?
I'm still working on the pigeon.
Oh, okay. The pigeon first, and then the transsexual
Same
dwarf.
thing.
Hey,
Finish one before we do the next. Damn, Will. All right. Against
So, Frankie,
Butter
what do you think of the weather girl?
Oh my god!
Right?
Can we put that
Yeah.
up again? I missed
There's a picture of her in yoga pants. That's especially.
This is a
wonderful.
hurdler.
Oh, yep.
oh yeah,
I've seen this one.
Buddy, I remember this. Yeah.
She's too skinny for me, though.
Yeah.
I've seen that GIF so much.
that's what I said.
No,
It's
her
everywhere.
being this skinny doesn't bother me because look how much fun she's having. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
A woman
I
that
just
can
like
have
how
fun.
sad the girl in the
Top
background with
two.
the glasses is looking at it
Right.
like, ah.
Right.
Wow.
I
She's
wish
like, she's like body goals, body goals.
Seriously.
Now
That's never
Mexican Weather
happening. I
Girl.
don't
Let's
have
show
that discipline.
Frankie.
Huh?
So you can see
This
what
is
we're talking
some
about.
damn good world building you guys got.
Exactly.
I agree.
It's raising many buildings.
Now we have to show some
Well,
beefcake, though.
you know what? I feel like this is how Brian Polito does world building. He's like, let me find cheesecake. Now I'm gonna make that into a comic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. When I was a
Why not?
13-year-old hanging around Dan at Extreme Studios, there was Playboys everywhere. And I used to go, Dan, why do you have Playboys? He goes, oh, that's for reference material. And it's Image Comics, so he could have been right.
There you go. I've seen
Absolutely.
Geisha.
Right.
He's just pretty hot.
Of course, when he was away, I was like looking through them and like,
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, if you want like softcore pornography, Playboy is not the place to go.
well,
why don't we get
Dan
into
was
that,
classy.
Brian? Why don't
Hold
you
on,
tell us?
hold on. Niobe, thank you for watching on Facebook. You are awesome. He says that he likes this world building. You guys are definitely changing
World
what my
building.
writing show is
Okay.
about.
When it's got some badunk-a-dunk.
We need to like balance this out with some beefcake for Shae. Does anybody have
Please,
any?
no, please,
Okay.
please,
No,
no.
Shae will go to the female strip club rather than the male strip club.
Yes, in a fucking heartbeat. Oh my gosh.
Dudes are gross, man.
Like,
Even women like to look at naked women. I love
I'd
it.
love to go to a strip club with Shae. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be the one over here, be like,
See,
"Hey,
G-Con.
blonde, come here, I need right here, this one."
Lap
Because then
dance.
all the girls would come to my table, and I'd be like, cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because
I
they'd be
just
all
hang
over
out.
Shae.
Be like, hey, when's the last time you ate? Have you eaten anything tonight? Let me go get you a little sandwich real quick. I'm just worried about your health.
Right, right.
They'd be like, thanks so
Damn.
much. It's like, back it up on Will while I go and get you food. Oh my gosh. So I never said my favorite world building.
Oh,
that
I'm
I've
sorry.
seen. So,
Shae, please.
my stuff
By all means.
is mostly from anime. So when I very first so I'd been writing through school, and I, wrote whatever stories, created like really simplistic worlds that didn't need a whole lot of help. But when I kind of realized that you could create something that could be a complete experience for someone else, was when I very first discovered anime. So my first anime ever was Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Oh, that is
Based off the
fantastic.
third book, that was a good one.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
wonderful.
that I paid $60 or something to get the DVD of it imported from Japan. And it was like the DVD itself was $20, and then $40 was just the shipping to get it. And I was like, I don't even care. Like, I don't care at all. I want this damn movie. I'm gonna own
Please
it.
tell me you still have that DVD.
Yes.
I have mine.
Yeah. No. Mine. It's it's staying with me forever and ever. I'm gonna be buried with it. It'll be fine.
I mean, I remember when that came out, I was especially psyched because I was a fan of the old Vampire Hunter D.
Yep.
Me too.
And, I mean, talk about, having high expectations. And then, of course, Bloodlust just completely, blew those expectations out of the water. It's an absolutely magnificent animated film. Everybody should check that out.
Agreed. So because that was the first one, then I just like perused the anime section, and I call section trying to be very nice. It was like 2 shelves because I'm in rural Utah. Like there's not shit there, okay? But what they did have,
I know that world. I know
right?
It's more than we had in the 80s.
Sounds like small town Florida too. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
were two. There were 2 phenomenal ones, and I got so hooked on these worlds and these stories and these characters that like watching it now, even going back and like watching it again, I get those same like excited jitters and that same really like just nostalgia hit right in your heart.
Yeah.
The first one is Trigun.
Mash the Stampede.
I remember
So good. And the thing is, so they
Colors.
really serious, harsh kind of world, right? And then they plop in the idea of this like
this is the death bringer. If he comes to your city, like you're all fucked, everyone's screwed, you're all dying, like it's the worst thing in the world, right? And then you see Vash, and he's like a Magoo, like he's really close to Mr.
Goofy
Magoo.
ass fucker.
It's like a savant.
But here's the best part about him. He is super nice, super like just not at all what they say until you do something morally reprehensible, in which case then he is exactly what they say he is.
Right.
And that was something that I loved, because the first couple of times watching, everything was kind of like, oopsie, didn't mean to. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I hope everything's okay. And then you have the one character that just is the baddest of the bad. And he comes toe to toe with him. And he's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. That's not okay. I'm not dealing with it. And he just changes into this completely just visceral, vicious, like perfect kind of character to follow. It was amazing.
Yeah, he's a great character.
That story went from really happy and like, just like goofy, and then it got real fucking serious.
And melancholy too, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Bebop also. It was
Cowboy Bebop always kind of had a
bluesy.
That was the next one. So that was the second one for me, was Cowboy Bebop.
You're batting 1,000, Shae.
Dude, I loved, because I'm not in the best part. I'm not into super sci-fi. I don't really do space a whole lot. Like, it's never been where I wanted to hang out, right? I liked Westerns. I liked, cities and stuff. I didn't
Space
like
stuff.
space dramas. For whatever reason, Cowboy Bebop somehow melds so many different genres together that I was like, I love the fact that it's in space. I love the fact that they keep like fucking up their junky ass ship, and they get stranded places, and they're like, well, we essentially ate the last bit of what is considered to be dry ramen that we can't cook because we don't have water anymore, and we should probably go find somebody so we can, eat.
Living hand to mouth, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they were like working stiffs.
And it was the best. Like, they literally worked for their next meal, and that was about it. Because every time they hit a cash cow, they'd like hit a cash cow and go, "Oh yeah, by the way, we did so much damage when we got this that we actually owe like 90% of what we just earned," or like, "We fucked up our ship so bad that in order for us to leave this shithole, like, we actually are in the deficit somehow. We got to take another gig just so we can get out." It was so well done. It was so much fun. And obviously the Dark Tower, the whole Dark Tower series, being able to, I got so into that book and when I was reading, the world around me would just fade away. Like, I would be so in it, people would be talking to me, and I'm not here. I can't even perceive you until you like physically are like, yo, what the fuck? I've been talking to you for 20 minutes. And I'm like, when did you get here?
That's what great storytelling's all about.
What's funny, guys? No one's mentioned this, and I was expecting Shae to mention it, or anybody, anime-wise. Maybe it's a cliche, but me and Dan are like both fanatics for this because it's such a huge influence on us. But Akira.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
You want to know why is in the Blade Runner of influences with me. It's like, it was such a powerful visual world, both the movie and the comics. That it truly sticks with both of us. Like, we were very influenced by that thing, by that whole phenomenon of Akira.
Two more.
So I'm gonna make you all hate me.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
Never? You never?
We're not gonna hate you. We're not gonna hate you.
I know that it is. I know that it is supposed to be like fucking epic, and the amount of times that I'm watching it, I'm sitting down, and then something happens.
Even I saw it.
It's not so much just like a great movie or a great series. It's just all the visual. It's like Blade Runner, right? Everybody who watches Blade, there's architects who love Blade Runner. There's filmmakers who love Blade Runner. There's animators. There's comic book creators. There's costume designers. People who make clothes. It's like it influences so many mediums of art, right?
Yeah.
Akira is kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those where people go, it's my go-to reference when I'm have an influence, need an influence on something. Like Blade Runner.
Right.
Well, I'm still dead Devon because I haven't seen Lost Boys.
Never?
Near Dark is better.
Yeah, I'm a Near Dark guy. I like Near Dark way better than Lost Boys.
Two more animes, like worlds that That's fine, Vaughn. We'll forgive you for that.
It's Batman and Robin that I find unfucking forgivable.
Oh God, yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Joel Schumacher really didn't understand Batman. But two more animes that had like amazing worlds, I thought, were Fist of the North Star, right?
Yep. That was
Which, good. I like that one.
Which was like Mad Max meets Bruce Lee and Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
I agree.
Such an absolutely fantastic world. And Berserk also I think has a really interesting world. And what's interesting about the world of Berserk is that you're basically in medieval Europe, and he starts introducing elements of fantasy. Suddenly it's just like, oh shit, Guts is face to face with a demon, right? Then the demon goes away, and Nosferatu's Zod. I'm sorry, you were saying, Luke?
I haven't read Berserk, and I actually just got my hands on a bunch of Berserk, so I'm looking forward to it.
You're in for a treat.
Shae, I recommend,
man.
I recommend this one.
Ooh, badass.
Crap.
Look, I don't got the Will bucks. Okay,
I know, right?
Will's got
Will's always got like these beautiful enamel casing.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, gorgeous.
He never has just the like. Oh, this is just the straightforward like $20 copy. He's like, this is the one that you like.
He gets the best.
Phil, you found that at a used bookstore? Did you say?
No, not this. This is my artist let me borrow this.
Wait, what is this?
Berserk. The best thing about Berserk is the first panel is Guts' ass.
Somebody please.
Hold on.
Somebody please.
Oh yeah,
there's the beefcake we wanted.
Wow. It opens with him banging a chick. I love that. I was like, set the tone, man. Set the tone.
And
horribly
line work is incredible, and it gets better and better. He has pages; they look like old German woodcuts. They're amazing.
What the hell is this?
I don't know. We're looking
Oh,
at like
shit.
Oh my gosh! Do you have like a bomb or some shit?
Hand me your suitcase in Japanese.
Don't say that on the air.
It's the flux capacitor.
We're not on a plane, Frankie.
No, it's the first phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it comes with its own cosmic cube.
Nice.
On Blu-ray, back when 3D, Blu-rays were a thing as well. But yeah, my and it light up.
Blu-rays are still a thing.
Shit, it lights up.
Yeah, and it's got like dossiers on all of them. It's got the napkin that Tony Stark wrote "No More Weapons" on, and all that shit. But yeah, my mom got this for me for my birthday one year.
That's awesome.
Oh,
yeah, my mom knows me.
Hey,
your
Shae,
mom does love you.
the reason why this Akira box set is worth getting is because it shows you how old we all are. Is way back when they published the Akiras in these trade paperbacks from Kodensha, and we were promised these spiffy, awesome graffiti designs hardcovers. That shows you how old, and they never came. Now we finally have them.
Graffiti design.
20 years later, we finally get them.
Oh, wait, Justin, what was that? What do you got?
East of
Oh,
West.
that's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's a
like
great
this,
book.
like in the series just ended like early this year or like late last year, but it's more or
I
less
gotta catch up, man. So good.
Oh yeah, like the year volume 3. Yeah, because this is like the year edition. There's only gonna be like there's 3 year editions, and I think the 3rd year comes out in like November. So if you get like these, you got all of it.
Yeah, I gotta get those. Those are so good. Those stories.
That's
Great,
awesome.
Great series.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everyone else is showing off books. I was like, let me get my big book.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
know. I don't have anything handy to show off.
We always got to do the what is it? The
Show
Jaws
and tell.
scene? It's a Jaws scene, right? I saw the shark. He had black eyes, like a doll's eye.
Frankie, so we haven't heard from you. So what would you kind of say is one of your favorite?
Yeah, Frankie, what the fuck?
3.
Whichever.
Two of them are books.
Okay.
One I saw when I was a kid. All 3's are tied in with survival, I guess. One was Watership Down. Because that's like a microcosm of, it's our world, but there's a world within our world, and it's, dogs are trying to kill these rabbits. They become like monsters. It becomes bigger than life from their perspective. So I think the Warrens, the rabbits' Warrens underground, it's like a whole new world. I saw this as a kid. It scared the crap out of me, but
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Really dark and really powerful.
I didn't expect that. I just saw it as a cartoon. You know,
Like
I'm
Secret
like,
of
yeah.
Death.
I was like, whoa.
I actually have a Watership Down reference in like part 2 of Unstitched.
Oh no shit.
Hell yeah.
I think they made like a limited series on Netflix too. They redid it. I think what's his name? From Star Wars is one of the voices.
John Boyega is big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Was that
I
any
saw
good?
Yeah, I mean it's CG,
I mean,
so
I
it
like-
takes a while to kind of see like or figure out like who's who, and you have to like kind of watch it almost twice.
First, I like the original, the animated film better though. I like the
Yeah.
animated film better.
Oh, the follow-up, The Plague Dogs. Oh God, I can't watch that. I can't watch either of those movies actually.
I just watched Plague Dogs. Is that connected?
Oh, yeah, by the same people.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was crazy. And then on top of that,
I can't deal with like violence toward. I can watch like humanity get wiped off the face of the earth. I
Right.
can see wholesale slaughter, but I can't deal with like anything with like animals.
I can't watch I Am Legend anymore. Yeah. like, you
Oh
know.
God.
No, thank
So
you.
I watched
Yeah.
Plague Dogs, and then the week later, I watched an animated movie called Rover Dangerfield, starring and written by Rodney Dangerfield.
I know
as a
that one.
dog, right?
I know that one.
Interesting.
Was he on coke? On a lot of coke?
More than
In a
like,
kids movie?
Yeah, it was
I'll beat the shit out of you.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking
My
of,
second choice.
Yeah, go
Please.
ahead, Frankie.
Go ahead.
No. You're talking. Brian's talked enough.
Second one's a movie. It's The Road Warrior, post-apocalyptic, survival. I mean, that's that movie.
that's my shit.
I love that stuff.
And the third one was a book. The movie is totally different from the book. Is The Warriors, 1979. Because no matter how many, I'm from New York, and no matter how many times I see it, it's like New York City isn't New York City. It's at night, the whole movie in one night.
It's like Jason Takes Manhattan, but in Canada.
I don't know. It's
Well,
you're
it's
walking
based,
down the street,
the
going to
story
different
of-
territories.
right.
It's
It's another world, but it's real too. It's based on the Odyssey, that whole journey.
Yeah.
No, it's based on the Anabasis by Xenophon.
Yeah. These mercenaries. No, sorry, these soldiers that lost their general and they had to like cross through hostile territory, and some
back
people
home.
would let them pass through, and other people would be like, "You ain't getting through." So they had to have to fight their way through. I'm sorry, Will. Can you
Well, it's
elucidate?
Xenophon, the
Right,
actual man who was a student of Socrates. He was a Athenian mercenary, and he went with Clearchus, who's a Spartan general, to be a mercenary for Cyrus, the younger of Persia, who was satrap of Asia Minor, I believe. Ionia, excuse me. And he was going to overthrow his brother Artaxerxes, and there was a great battle in Babylon where they actually, the Greeks won, but Cyrus was killed. So they were a victorious army without a leader, so they negotiated with Artaxerxes to leave their territory, but they didn't want this Greek army intact moving through their territory, so they double-crossed them and killed all their leaders, but they kind of elected Xenophon to be their leader, and it's sort of a harrowing journey of them getting through out of Mesopotamia into Asia Minor and back into Pontus and Cyzicus and back to Greece. It's a really cool story.
To New York. You know,
right, and Cyrus was the gang leader.
Yeah,
right.
And
Exactly.
you did
And there's they run into the sirens who try to murder them. Like they think they're getting laid for a second by all these chicks, and then they're like, "Suck
That was the
die!"
Lizzies.
They pull out their guns.
Yeah, that was the Lizzies.
Hold on.
There's-
Let me say thank you, Unhinged Entertainment, for the $5. Spawn has great world building and by one guy mainly. Thank you very much, sir. And Justin,
I've also got to go because
Hey, Justin.
working like 5 hours.
Peace out, Justin.
Justin. Have a good
And
night.
also, can I just say right before you split, hopefully you're gonna make your goal. If you don't, dude, we'll help you relaunch. Okay?
Oh, 1,000%. We're gonna push it. You're so close.
Buy a
You're
bear.
so
You are,
close to
dude.
it.
You are.
Left. What, 80%? Like 15
We got to
days.
rally.
Absolutely. So everybody, please, if you are watching and you have not backed Unstitched or you do not know what Unstitched is, please get
Toy
on
Story
that.
meets Coraline.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being on, Justin. And
Thank you.
I hope that work doesn't suck too much tomorrow.
It's
Take
Monday,
care,
it
man.
always does.
I feel
Later,
ya.
buddy.
I would. Hey, Shae, are you gonna cosplay Angela one day?
I like that.
Angela
From Spawn.
There you go.
From Spawn, now part of the Marvel universe for whatever.
Oh,
reason.
that's right.
Yeah, why is she? I saw like a Marvel
lost it.
brand
Okay,
with Angela
so
on it.
Neil Gaiman created her when he was working for Spawn. Or
Yeah.
working for Cyberfarm. And
Sued him.
rights
Sued him over it.
the rights for Angela and what is it, Cagliostro went back to Neil Gaiman along with the rights to Miracle Man. So Todd thought that he was going to get the rights to Miracle Man, so he produced that tiny little Miracle Man figure. And then Todd was like, "Yeah, no," or Neil was like, "Yeah, no." So they had a little legal battle. Todd didn't get the rights to Angela or Cagliostro or Miracle Man. Neil had them. He went and worked for Marvel, did the Eternals, sold the rights to Miracle Man, Angela, and I'm guessing Cagliostro. I don't know.
How does
But-
Spawn function without those characters? Then the Angela's whole heavenly host is sort of like the bad guys.
I think
He just created
You
no
make
one.
analogs, dude. You make analogs.
Well,
Okay.
I think Cagliostro's still in there, but you think he's licensing him from Neil because he was
I
a
have no
big
idea.
thing. I think in the newest thing, like Cagliostro was like now he's a bad guy.
Well,
So they do like
Cagliostro was
a
the historical
Interesting,
figure,
okay.
right? So
He puppeted it.
Well, I mean, I'm not super up on knowledge of Spawn. So
Did
I
he
mean,
do like a
neither.
a priest chapel situation where they had to like switch out priest for chapel?
I don't
Could be.
know. I don't know.
You know, I mean, that's honestly that's what Brian Pulido's had to do with the fact that all of his original Chaos characters are not his to work with anymore.
All right.
Isn't that
Did
what
you look her
did,
up, Shae?
Hmm?
Did you look up Angela and see what she looked like?
No.
Wasn't that
That
big
big
part of that
red
deal,
hair.
the
She's
whole
really good,
series that Neil Gaiman did?
She's got red hair.
That was like Marvel in the 1600s or something.
Yeah, Marvel 1600. That was the second time they did that. First time was actually really good. The second time was just kind of a cash grab.
Yeah, because it was literally just him. Like they were like, "Here, we're going to give you a series so that we can have an excuse to pay you this much money to take these characters."
Well, I honestly saw the first few pages of the second 1600 series. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm just not a Neil Gaiman fan myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Me neither. I've never been into Neil Gaiman.
Never been into him. He's always been a poor man's Alan Moore to me. And
I'm not an Alan Moore guy either. That's
I
think
love
they're
Alan Moore.
completely different.
Go
Yeah.
read American
Like his
Gods.
Swamp Thing run? Oh my god.
Swamp Thing's fine, but I'm
American
not like
Gods
this
is great.
diehard Alan Moore fan. You know,
Right.
I think
you're
that-
supposed to be, but I'm not.
I
Right.
think they're completely different authors.
Yes. They tread similar territory, but they're completely different authors.
Yeah, one of them's
Like,
good. I'm sorry.
Well, they both
I'm
do
kind
this
of a
thing.
Philippine, guys. Sorry.
Is it American Gods? I think.
American Gods.
Yeah, that was the
novel. Like I
I
don't
mean,
know,
that's
maybe
basically
it
his
hit the right
magnum
time,
opus.
but when I read that,
No,
it just,
they died.
Oh, Phil. Nice hardcover there.
Yeah.
Which one is that one?
This
Neil
is
Gaiman.
American Gods.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Anansi Boys too.
Yeah,
I
it had
mean,
this in the
honestly,
back
guys,
too.
I was more of a Garth Ennis fan because he just made me laugh.
Right.
Yes,
You know?
that's what Garth does.
Yeah.
Like I loved
like that.
Punisher because I was just laughing my ass off through it. You know, I just thought it was
Well,
funny.
see, that's
Yeah,
the
but-
funny thing about Garth. He's just as smart as Neil and Grant.
Hubba
Right.
hubba.
But he's going to make you,
There's
laugh.
Shae, right there.
Yep.
That is what you're voting.
I
for
think
me to
Shae
talk-
could. I think Shae
Damn,
could rock
Shae.
it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd definitely be able to do the just Lobo ripoff eyes.
Yeah, I
Lobo
mean,
ripoff.
Yeah.
You might
Hey,
be a little cold in that outfit, though.
Depends on what time of year
Yeah.
it is.
Or at least do this
Right.
part if you want, like just the face.
Oh yeah, for
I
a
mean,
stream. When you interview McFarlane, do it.
Yeah, I'll let you know when he's like, "Hey, I got to get on that Red
Hey,
Valkyrie."
Shae, how you doing, Shae? How you doing? Thank you for having me on Red Valkyrie. I really appreciate it. Now the kids really love it. They love change. It's really sexy. You know, they love the capes.
The ribbons, the capes, yeah.
The capes. The kids love change.
Now what
They
you gotta
love it.
do is you gotta do it sexy.
You gotta do the voice though.
You gotta
The
make
kids
it
love it.
sexier.
Oh my gosh. Look, okay, I'll say it here and now. If somebody convinces Todd McFarlane to come on this channel, I will figure out how to do that cosplay.
Oh yeah.
Now we have to make that happen.
Well,
That'll
you know, all you
though.
gotta get in touch with Dan now.
Yeah, Dan. You know, Dan is he's a protege. So
That's the connect.
I mean, you've all seen Comic Book Greats, right? The old videos.
Yeah.
You know, when he was on there with Rob and he's drawn over, he's like, "Oh, the kids love bullet holes. They love it. It's really sexy."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I actually have that VHS tape still somewhere.
I have them on. I ripped them. I have them stolen from the internet, or excuse me, procured from the internet.
Frankie, what were you about to say?
I said, wouldn't that piss off Todd that you're wearing a cosplay of a character he lost?
That's true.
Maybe.
I mean, you could do Wanda. Oh shit, you have to do blackface. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh no.
There's a she spawn now, you bastards.
There is a she spawn.
Yep.
There is a she spawn.
There's been a she spawn.
Oh, actually, there's a hot ass like fitness chick that plays she spawn. That's like you know, she's a black chick, but she's like really like thin and like buff. Go on Instagram where I oogle her.
And by the way, that whole you can only cosplay people that are whatever same race or whatever as you. I don't abide by that anyway. I had Art Tiber on, and I was white, who is a black woman.
Who was black and white?
White is Asian.
Well, Asian. She's not.
Oh,
she's not white. She's not
black.
I was like, I didn't know she was black.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
you know what? Fuck all y'all. It's late. I'm tired.
I remember going to C2E2, which is like the Chicago Comic Con, to promote Six Gun. This is like years ago, and like I you saw people from every walk of life dressed up as Batman. You saw guys, fuck you, I'm Batman. You saw kids, fuck you, I'm Batman.
And
like black chicks, fuck you, I'm Batman. A guy in a wheelchair, fuck you, I'm Batman.
Yep.
But so here's the thing: is cosplay is legit. It's fan service of a character. It's you know taking that character and making it work for you because people have different body types. People have different hindrances. People are different genders. Like
Ryan Gosling is Black Panther. You know.
Here's a funny story. So my lady really my lady saw Deadpool 2 and she's like, "Oh, I really love Domino. I love her hair,
right?
And how natural it is." And she's like, "But it sucks, you know, Domino. I want to dress her up as her for Halloween, but she's a black chick." And I'm like, "Domino is actually white in the comics,
literally white,
like, literally white." Like they changed that for the movie, and she's like, "Oh, but I really like that hair." I'm like, "Oh,
okay, well, do both. Fuck it. Who's stopping you?"
Yeah, that's cool. Like,
exactly.
Face with the afro. That'd be awesome.
I mean,
it literally doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're not running around being racist about anything, where you're like intentionally being as offensive as possible. Like, fuck it.
Right. Yeah. And to me, it's like cosplay. At first, it was just like chicks dressed up as Harley Quinn, right? You saw a billion Harley Quinns at the first New York Comic Con.
Bunch of daddy issue chicks.
Yeah,
I mean they're still there.
They're still there, but
since the 70s, right?
I was cosplaying before cosplay was a word.
I am a chainmail bikini fan. Okay, I have the chainmail bikini mod for Skyrim. Okay, that's all I'm saying. My Skyrim waifu, Miola Lioness.
Yeah, it's always great how that's like nudity is the first mod that always comes out on those things.
I know, it's great.
I love it.
Well, it's just like it's supposed to be like
great.
a Frazetta. It makes the world a little more Frazetta-esque. That's all I'm saying, and that can never be a bad thing.
Red Sonja, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's on my bucket list.
Oh,
nice.
I gotta lose a little weight and I gotta do a lot of ab exercises and then we can try for Red Sonja.
Well, that remember that comic Elf Quest?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
With the titties.
The chick that was the creator, she got into like going to cons and stuff because she would cosplay back in like the 80s. She would cosplay Red Sonja, and she was like stacked. She was killing it, and then she created ElfQuest. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Wendy Penny.
And-
Yeah,
and that influenced Poison Elves.
That's right.
The long, tall ears, the Poison Elves ears are just fucking ridiculous.
Right.
I was at MegaCon it was, I can't remember what year it was. It was way back in the day. Back when Brian Bendis was still writing Alias. Because Bendis used to actually have a mock feud with Drew Hayes in the letters column of Poison Elves. Back when Bendis was an indie dude and like
right.
his way up. And like I had my giant Poison Elves ears and like a black wig on, and he's like, Lucifer! And I ended up like talking to Brian Bendis about Alias and Poison Elves and all kinds of different shit for like an hour because nobody knew who his ass was.
Wow.
And like the next year he was Brian Michael fucking Bendis. So yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even. He doesn't
now he's
anyone now.
Dude, he used.
He probably has a secretary to talk to his
Greg
mom.
fucking
Yeah.
Rucka used to be able to write too. Like I worked at a bookstore in New Hampshire and I found a book that he did called Critical Space. Really well done, really well paced book. And I don't know what the fuck happened to Greg Rucka. Like he used to be able to write, and
it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes. I think it's every writer's worst nightmare that you're going to run out of ideas, or you're going to start sucking, or like in my case, that people are going to be like, "Hey, wait a second, you're not supposed to be here."
I mean,
like
I don't know. That's not like fraud police kind of thing, right? Like, I mean, you're always as human beings. Unfortunately, we do our best with our backs to the wall.
Yeah.
So when you begin to become comfortable, you're gonna slip.
Exactly.
So we got 2 questions before we wrap up. So we have Jason Krager wants to know how many of you have read Voice of the Fire?
Don't know what that is.
Never heard of it.
No idea.
Never heard
but I might have.
You just got like everybody simultaneously going from Penny to Google Voice of the Fire. No idea what this is.
I was like, I should have just said yeah, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And like,
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I saw Voice of the Fire.
Well, maybe it's something cool and worthy of discovering.
Maybe, or maybe it's something abysmal, and he wanted to hear everybody get pissed off about it. So you never know.
Right, maybe he was being sarcastic.
Yeah,
Jason, have you read Jerusalem? If you're a big fan of Alan Moore's prose, have you read Jerusalem yet?
No.
I feel like 3 people have read Jerusalem.
Oh my god! It's because the motherfucker is 60 goddamn hours long on Audible.
Oh my
god! Exactly.
Like 4
I don't have
novels
that much time.
I don't like his prose.
Hey guys,
I don't like Moore's prose at all.
Froggy's making us all look like a bunch of assholes because he has read Voice of the Fire.
Well, apparently it's the first book by
Curse
Alan
you,
Moore.
Frog G.
What were you saying, buddy?
It's the first book by Alan Moore.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, he did short stories before that. First short story he did, like prose story, was called A Hypothetical Lizard, which was, I think, for like a shared world anthology. He just like way too wordy, like you really got the feeling that he was like, look, I understand people know that I'm a comic book writer, so I have to like make my prose extra florid, extra good, because everybody's going to think this guy's an idiot and I can't write.
I think Alan just likes his words.
I think
he does.
You could be right. You could be right. You could be right.
Well, there's a YouTuber like Dan Fraga talking about Alan Moore, and he says that he was like, yeah, when I first got to Image, and there was somebody else was working with Alan Moore, and he saw his script, and it was like 5 pages for one panel.
Yeah.
And he was
Yes.
like, I'm glad that's not me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Rob
yeah.
hired him to
Annoying.
overhaul the Extreme universe.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
that's
seen
right, you did.
I've seen his scripts before. I've seen Alan Moore's scripts, and yeah, they are heavily detail oriented.
Well, I know for
All right, guys.
Sandman that Neil Gaiman's scripts were pretty heavy. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Closing
fine.
out, Shae.
That's okay.
Like, shut the fuck up and get out of here.
We got one more question. It's gonna be a rapid fire question, and then we are going to go into everybody giving their little their pitches for their projects and wrap up because Shae has work in the morning. So we're gonna stop at 2 hours because that's what we do.
Just say you have the COVID.
All right.
Yeah, it's fine. No. All right. So Unhinged wants to know if you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be? I'll start. If it were me, I'd be a T-Rex because it'd be hilarious to have tiny arms. Buddy.
I'd be a pterodactyl so I could fly anywhere.
Nice. Vaughn.
Fuck, man.
I see you as a
That's really what we're
velociraptor.
ending with. You can see me as a velociraptor.
Yeah.
All right. I'm the wolf of the dinosaurs. Wonderful.
I like it. Brian.
I'd be a brontosaurus, a peaceful herbivore.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, little slut.
Well,
I don't know. Whichever would accept a saddle from the fine ass Mexican weather girl.
Yeah, man. Excellent choice.
okay.
Whichever that is.
Phil.
The one with the tail with the spiky ball on the end.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's like Brachiosaurus or something like that.
Dino Riders, man. I had the toys.
The
I always
Ankylosaurus?
played him,
I had some Dino Riders.
What'd you call it, buddy?
Raid.
Ankylosaurus.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the Unkindosaurus.
Buddy would know.
Luke.
Spinosaurus.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't say something that has a ridge, I'm gonna punch you.
Spinosaurus, so I can fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Frankie.
A triceratops, so I can stab 3 bastards at the same time.
I like it.
Such a violent crew.
Shiv 'em.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I
All
thought
right.
mine was the most desirable one.
Yours was a pretty good one. I will say that one. It was pretty good.
I
All right,
used to them
so
draws to get to that ass.
let's go around the room backwards so everyone can talk about their projects before we say goodnight. So Frankie, kick us off.
I have Through the Woods, and we're going to release The Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill for a short limited run. We're going to have limited books. That's that.
Is that going to be like a reprint of the previous one, or is it going to be in hardcover?
No, it's a comic book. It's still.
Okay, I got that.
It's a little bit thick cover though.
Yeah. Well, people, I recommend it.
All right. Rock steady birthday boy Luke.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Death Metal Hero, and on YouTube. I do the sing along of Doom. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm peacocking so hard this evening with the hair.
That was badass, bro.
Thanks, man. I figured, why the fuck not? Birthday stream.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I'm working on that, and unnamed, scary ass dream project with Shae, and then I've also got a cyberpunk project that is percolating up here. So
Nice.
stay tuned.
Nog.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Brian.
I got Six Gun Gorilla, the big gun down. That's on Indiegogo right now. You can also get that. It's basically issue number 7. You can get that, and also the trade paperback, which is issues 1 through 6. And I got Nine Devils coming up with Preston Acevedo. There's a top secret project that I'm working on with somebody that's been on the stream, but I'm not going to say who. And then, of course, the Doc Salem Blood Hunt crossover that will be hopefully coming out. Some of that stuff's coming out this year. Some of it's coming out next year. But also, can I just say really quick? Don't back my books. My books have already done okay. Go check out Unstitched, and it's that close to its goal. And so get on it.
Yes, please. Thank you for that, Brian. William.
So yes, as we said earlier, Black Flag is in demand. Pineapple Perception. If you want to see 48 pages of goodness, especially 4 of them featuring fine-ass Mexican weather girl rendered by Dan Fraga, for that
You know
alone,
you do.
you will see ass titty. So please,
Ass titty.
throw something into the till, but also go for Unstitched first because we've got plenty of money. So go for Unstitched first.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
This is why I fucking love all of you guys. You guys are epic. Phil.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Shae. Check out the Lost pages after you back Unstitched. Head on over to our page. I just went over to my artist Maria's house earlier and picked up a page, and this is my favorite page from her so far. It is a bunch of acts.
Oh, rad.
I haven't showed this off yet.
Oh, that is dope.
You get a little
Are you
love
keeping
down
any
there.
of those, Phil?
I might keep this one because this one is amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's pretty.
Would blame you.
Oh man,
wow. Shit.
She's incredible.
Yeah. If you guys haven't backed yet, please do. We're like one backer away from 24,000. If you guys pick up the bonus comic, and So and also whoever gets us past 24,000 is going to get a bunch of free prints for doing so.
Nice.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Badass.
The monster.
Hey guys, Monster MD. It's 4 pages away from being done.
Woo.
That's it.
What?
Never shipped. Yeah, dude, it's almost there.
That's great news, dude.
I'm really excited. Everything's coming together really well on the rewrites because I'm just trying to give it that final polish to make the best book I possibly can for you guys. It's 114 pages with a bonus story that's another 14 where you get to learn about the origin of our favorite hottie, invisible chick, Heidi, and how she became invisible.
Sweet.
So if you like a little invisible ass titty, it's there.
Oh man! So you're gonna hook us up. You're gonna give us our money's worth.
Hell yeah, man! This book has it all. It's amazing, and everyone that's getting like some peaks of the big climactic ending is loving it. So yeah, I just can't wait to share it with everybody. So please check it out before we're done.
Kick ass.
Yes. And can I just say, I love that you have such a sexy pen-up of Heidi. It's pretty spicy.
My brother has the shirt. He wears it all the time.
Oh, that's
awesome. I need that in my life.
Definitely.
I love how she's become like the runaway character from that.
Yeah, I was hoping she would, but I didn't count on it. But yeah, man, like she's just too fun, So
for sure,
build it on that.
All right,
Hell
Buddy.
Well, hello there. Yes, I am Buddy Lord. I write Sins of the Fae. It is a urban fantasy adventure, and basically it's like forgotten gods want to enslave Earth, and the Fae have always stood in the way until now. So if you want to find out what happens, then buy Sins of the Fae.
Nice.
And
Cool.
get Unstitched first, though.
Yeah.
I gotta learn how to pitch from Buddy because he's like perfectly concise, and I'm like sound like a retard every time I say, "Oh, go read Black Flag." It kind of got tits and ass in it. You'll like it. Yeah. And his is like perfect, it's almost like poetry. It's like
I know.
It's almost like he's thought about it.
Right. I'm like tits and ass, bro. Come on.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't think it was that great, but thank you.
It's very intriguing because like you like say this little bit and you're like you want to know more, go back to the book, and it's like
Exactly. Perfect
damn
elevator
it,
pitch.
I do.
Yep.
Yeah, I would just like speak for 20 minutes and give you the whole plot. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you the plot.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I of course am Shae the Red. You can find me pretty much here on my channel all the time, and also on Twitter.
she's a poor judge of character.
I'm a terrible judge of character and apparently a dumb bitch. So woo!
I was gonna say that, but I figured I'd wait till backstage.
It's okay. I'll say it now to take the wind out of yourself.
You have to tell me what that's about.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to everybody who gave us some badass fucking super chats. You guys are amazing. Love love our panel, love our chat, love all the guys that are watching stuff on replay. You guys are all so wonderful, and thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us every time. Oh my gosh, you
Frankie.
show your face.
Frankie.
You show your face. Oh, look at you. Oh, it's all kinds of New York up in here. Okay. Yes, thank you guys so much for coming out, and yeah, we'll catch you guys same time, same place next week.
Yeah.
Catch you later. Bye.
Peace, love, and soul.